and fourth in the division is 22J of Jesse Jacobson. Jacobson in 22J, sponsored by Grinders Automotive and Marine Meldeca Racing. Burlington Eagles, Sasquatch Subs, Jacobson Trucking, and Fast Track HVAC. There's Hendrickson's 13, who we told you about. The 27 is Garrell Powers. Powers in car 27 out of Oak Harbor. O'Reilly's of Oak Harbor. And Powers Diesel and Automotive Services.
Boy, Hendrickson looked pretty good in that session, Caleb.
Zan Miller is in the 23X. Bulldog Trailers, Razor's Edge Drywall. Sound Diesel Services, Apex Ground Control. Macy Logston in the 70 was on Raceway. Macy out of Mount Vernon in the Sea Island Sand and Gravel Pit Stop Laundry. Absolute Plumbing, Aquatech Well Drilling and Pumps, Conway Pub and Eatery, Propane. And the 51 is Dustin Gehring. Gehring, After Hours Customs and Collision, Lewis Auto Glass, Terraza Auto Detail, Black Market Speed, and a special thanks to Bonfire Betting and Main. Well, that'll do it. Steven Hendrickson's got the fastest lap in the Sportsman sprint cars, as now it is time for Focus Midgets and their group qualifying sessions. Welcome, Eric Litt. Green flag out for qualifying for the Sportsman sprint cars on Raceway. First car to qualify is the 23X of Zan Miller. Zan Miller is the 23X. Lap number 1 for Zan on the clock.
13.971. 13971 is the first lap time for Zan. Rolling out of the gas there through 3 and 4. Second lap time, 14.164. She will take lap number 1 for the official time.
Her sponsors, Bulldog Trailers, Razor's Edge Drywall, Sound Diesel Services, and Apex Ground Control. As we get ready, next out on the raceway. And timing in. Wait for it. Wait for it. Got there. All right, next on the track and timing in. That is going to be one of our 3 Race Saver 305s out on the track. Katie and Jaden Whitney from Stanwood, Great Western Transport, Arlington Earthworks, Powder Coating Inc., and Snohomish Napa Auto Parts.
Hear these guys, even in their 305s and Sportsmen, just ride around the bottom, a little bit out of the gas. Jaden will go to the top.
To the point where he's putting his left front down on the apron. First lap for Whitney, 13.954. And second lap around 13.966. Clocking in, quick time and hot laps was the 13 of Steven Hendrickson. Hendrickson, the Pack Trucking sponsored 13. Lap number 1 for Stevens, 13.543. 13.543. Hendrickson, lap number 2. 4/10 quicker than the field. And 14.345. 345 on lap 2.
And another one of our Race Saver 305 engine cars in car number 70 out of Mount Vernon, Washington. Sponsored by Sea Island Sand and Gravel, Pit Stop Laundry, Absolute Plumbing, Aquatech Well Drilling and Pumps, Conway Pub and Eatery, Adult Trucking. It's Macy Logsden. Macy Logsden, first lap time is a 13.975, 13975 for Macy. 1:06.8 for Macy.
Now next from Oak Harbor, this is Garrell Powers. Garrell Powers in the O'Reillys of Oak Harbor, Powers Diesel and Automotive Services, number 27. Powers. Lap 1, 14.829, 14.829. Second lap around for Garrell. And faster, 14.737, 4.737.
Next out on the track in car number 22J out of Stanwood, sponsored by Grinders Automotive and Marine, Mel Decker Racing, Burlington Eagles, Sasquatch Subs, Jacobson Trucking, and Fast Track HVAC. This is Jessen Jacobson. Jessen Jacobson on lap number 1. He is fifth quick, 14.049. 14049 for the 22J. Here in the Sportsman Sprint Car. Second lap, he'll go to second quick, 13.909, 139.09. Early second quick for Jessen Jacobson.
All the Nostrums coming out next. The Dirty Deeds Sewers number 19 car. Weighing down driving experience. Powder Coaters Incorporated, amongst others on the sponsor list. Ostrom with a 14.102 on lap number 1, 14.102.
A lot of these guys just really seem to be struggling with grip. A lot of struggling. Saw Henderson's car just playing.
13.929 on the second lap for Ostrom, 13.929. Tonight, the 87's Brian Holmqvist. Holmqvist driving the 87. First Class Auto Glass, General Plus Insulation, Pierre's Burlington Used Car Superstore, Merritt Builders, and Skagit River Chiropractic. Brian, 14.567, seventh quick, and boy, a low pill tonight seems to be massively beneficial.
Yeah, even with the lower horsepower, it doesn't matter. You're on the same track. You need to find the grip, and there's not much to be found.
14.371 the next time around, 14.377.
A teammate to Brian Holmqvist in car number 36. This is Tanner Merritt. Tanner Merritt out of Camino Island, Washington. Sponsored by Tepic Mexican Restaurant, First Class Auto Glass, General Plus Insulation, Delta Camshaft, and Pierre's Burlington Used Car Superstore. First lap time for Merritt is a 14.071. 14071. That's good for seventh quick. Whoa! We have a car push right in front of Merritt on the entrance to 3. Yellows out as the 44J of Serrano was pushed.
Little
yikes.
miscommunication on that, and that, the level of coordination needed on this is pretty precise, and you can see what happens when you're just a hair off. So good news, nothing bad happened there. It was tight for a second. Merritt is due one more lap.
Yeah, he was headed down the back straightaway, and when you're not expecting a car to be there and there's a car there, that's good on his reflexes there to miss the 44J. But yeah, just unsynchronized push there, and what they'll probably do is have Tanner get back on the gas right there near turn 3, I would think.
I'd think.
Because that's about where you're going to be on the gas
And then
anyway,
you're going to need to roll Serrano all the way back to the front of the line on the other side.
Right.
Because, as opposed to normal, your draw order and where you come out to qualify does make a pretty big difference here tonight at Skagit Speedway.
Especially tonight. And nobody wants to get skipped or anything like that. So definitely an important thing is Merritt got another couple laps there to kind of look at the track, but he gets the checker there.
Did better, 14.035.
Yep. So a little bit better lap time there from his first lap as Tanner Merritt now is officially clocked in.
Seventh quickest.
7th overall. Oh, thank you, sir.
Yes.
I'm learning this My Race Pass app every day. I do this with you.
It is pretty cool. If you guys don't have the My Race Pass app, you need to get it. It is a paid-for app, by the way, so it's not free 93.
We're talking like what, $4.99?
Yeah,
It's like a monthly subscription that it's not crazy.
It's inexpensive, right?
Whoa, what do we got? Tug of War on the screen?
Apparently,
What do we got? Turn 1 Tug of War
we do.
on the grass. Oh man, here we go.
So Serrano gets it turned around and ready ready to come back out and on the raceway to time in. It's the Old Timers Bar and Grill, Chase Construction, Long Arm Towing and Hauling, Jimmy and Sons Trucking, Tacos to Calvin Land 44J. And Jay Lynn second quick at 13.846. 13846. And I'll tell you what, 1/10 of a second makes a gigantic difference here. And this huge bunch of drivers grouped up at 13.9. Jalen's second lap of 14.078, but second quick for Serrano at 13.846. That is going to pay some pretty big dividends coming in later on in the night. This is the 37, Sean Wallenfels Jr.
It's been a while since we've seen him in a car.
Normally a Frank Sherman
Yes.
driver, and haven't seen any of the Frank cars this year, so Sean's getting to come out and drive the Paul Hopkins 37 tonight to an opening lap of 14.876.
We saw him grab that berm down there, Caleb, and I'm gonna venture down to the track here later. I want to see the berm because they've been reworking it a little bit to be more aggressive, and I'm curious.
All right. Wallenfels improves the spot, 14.422. Let's get a look at the 45 of Jackson Stratton coming out next on a standard.
Sponsored by B&T Automotive, Arlington Power Equipment, and Sideline Excavation in his J&J chassis with a sharp under the hood. First lap for Jackson is a 14.558, 14558, currently 11th quick in car number 45. Roland, there's a little ripple there on the entrance to 3 that just bounces the car through the 14.684 is the second lap, so lap number 1 will be the official time for Jackson.
And car number 8, it is the Speed Mart Race Redeem Foundation Wing Down Driving Experience entry of Tom Weiss. Tom Weiss, the 8 car. On the clock for Tom, he is 11th quick at 14.461. 14.461. Second time by for Tommy. And he will clear a 14.023. That'll move him up to 8th quick at 14.023. There he is, the guy whose race career is older than Justin. It's the 72R of Rapid Roy Blumenhagen from just up the road, Washington.
I love this guy.
Roy's
Rapid Roy.
14.747. Roy ran 410s here forever.
He always, so I remember his red car with
Yep.
like the gold flake, like the fire engine gold,
Yep.
you know, like coin vinyl. Oh man.
His father-in-law is Hall of Famer Butch Gilbert as
604, which is
lap number 2 of 14.891, 14.891. Next out's the 57T. This is Tony Bundy. Tony Bundy in the 57T. Boy, the left front's kind of wobbling a little bit out there. That's frightening. 15.293. Jet City Equipment Pit Stop Laundry CSI Construction sponsor on him.
yeah, you see that kind of whole divot in turn number 3 that's upsetting some of these cars. Not bad, but just enough.
14.932 the second time around for Tony.
21Z is on the track next. This is Kira Zylstra. 21Z out of Monroe, Washington, in her HLB Custom Fabrication Miracles and Memories Academy. Excuse me, Miracles and Memoirs Academy. Clan Graham, D&G Backhoe, Monroe,
Chiropractic.
and Alternative Med Center. Kira Zylstra, first lap for her, 13.953. That is fifth quick so far. Second lap for her, 14.070. So she'll take her first lap, and she's currently fifth quick.
Next down on the raceway in the 66, it's Taylor Burstick. Taylor Burstick is the Redeemer Racing, Roots Racing entry. Burstick, hard on the hammer, off the turn. 14.496, that's 13th on the field. Look out, Burstick! All the way around of his own doing. And push truck is going to be needed in turn number 2. Unfortunately, Justin, you've been here before. We're going corner. As they get ready to go, is it time to update your HVAC system? Turn to the experts at All Phase Heating and Air Conditioning. All Phase Heating has been serving Skagit County and beyond for over a decade and specializes in residential upgrades and more. Now's the county's only carrier distributor, providing comfort solutions to the community with kindness, integrity, and professionalism. Call All Phase Heating and Air Conditioning for a free quote today.
Hendrickson and Ostrom, the lights are out around Skagit Speedway, our first heat race of the night. Steven Hendrickson, Alden Ostrom, green flags out, and Hendrickson gets the jump.
Now the question is, how did they get through 1 and 2 with turn 2?
We got yellow, Caleb. We didn't like the start, and I kind of thought that might happen. Hendrickson got a really good jump on the bottom, but that's a product of the track we've got too. It's so dry in that second groove that Ostrom's going to try to have to roll into the gas a little bit earlier to try to look more matched at that chalk line in turn 4.
And it almost means that you expect Ostrom to try to nose ahead as he rolls into it, but by the time they get to the line, they should be even. Yeah. Now, turn 2 is starting to get some shade, start getting some moisture pumping in that corner, and you might see some drivers find some bite, but let's give this a second try. Hendrickson in the 13 on the inside, Ostrom in the 19 on the outside with a full field to follow him. We're great.
Ostrom definitely gets a better start this time. They're side by side down the front straightaway. This start's going to sting as Ostrom's going to be right on the outside of Hendrickson. They both know what's on the line, and they'll drag race down into turn 3.
Ostrom really pinching Steven down so he couldn't widen the corner out. It's a veteran move from Alden Ostrom, who's looking for the pole of tonight's main event. Drag race down the front straightaway. Ostrom's got it out of turn number 2 on lap number 2.
You see that grip we talked about in turn number 2, Caleb, and that's going to be an advantage as Hendrickson makes contact. He spins Ostrom. Oh no, Caleb.
Well, contact, you saw it off the corner, the 19 of Ostrom going around. And as much as we talk about throttle pickup and how slick this is and hard to get it, it also makes it a little hard to brake. You know what I mean? Because you stab the brakes and try to whoa it up. And first look of the night, the Interstate Batteries outrageously dependable restart zone in the back straightaway. Interstate Battery sponsoring that green area. It is Hendrickson who can go as soon as the green paint begins on the back straightaway, and he has till the end of the green paint to fire off. They all have to go between the cone and the wall, and once they reach that cone, it is game on. They can change lines, they can move forward and advance their position. Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable. Pack Trucking 13 fires off in the middle of the zone. Tanner Merritt now second in the 36, coming after him with Paul Rollo in the third spot. We're back to green.
Hendrickson still holds the lead as he'll just pin the bottom through 1 and 2. Merritt now looking for a really solid starting spot here. If Hendrickson does anything to make the bobble, Merritt's going to try to be there to capitalize.
As it is, it's the outside of row number 2 in the main event for Tanner. If he can hang on with that car, looks to be washing up the groove, and Paul Rollo has the 99 underneath him and coming forward. He's bringing Macy Logston as well. Halfway home, 4 down, 4 to go. Here in Sportsman Sprint Car Heat Race number 1.
I was going to say, you see Rollo kind of with his wing further back as Logston's going to look to the inside of Rollo coming out of 4. Macy Logston now side by side for 3rd. She's going to look to the inside down in 1.
Rollo tries to pinch down to again, make it so she can't make a great circle in the corner, and it works for Paul as he holds 3rd for right now. Logston takes it up half a groove, coming back after him, but time is running out on this one. Bid for the pole looking good for Hendrickson. Second place is the 36 of Tanner Merritt in the middle of your screen right now.
White flag this time by for the 13th car of Steven Hendrickson. The battle's going to be for your 3rd spot and potentially for 2nd. If Merritt can't get his car under it, looks solid right now, but Logston and Rollo still going at it for that 3rd spot.
To the checkered flag, your winner, and should be your pole sitter for the main. Steven Hendrickson, your quick qualifier on the night. Merritt will hang on to 2nd, Rollo 3rd, Logston 4th, and Ostrom recovered back up to the 5th spot.
Yeah, I looked back and saw Alden kind of roll in that middle, so there is something there, Caleb. We saw those first couple laps, but Hendrickson able just to plant that car on the bottom.
Out there watching Tony roll around, so happy 9th birthday to Joseph. And we are just about ready to let things loose. It's going to be a fun battle between Serrano and Zylstra. It's Jalen's first full year in the sprint car.
She's been fast.
Zylstra's got a lot of experience. Basically, any week they can find a place to go run that car, they do, whether it's here at Skagit Speedway, down to Grays Harbor, etc. They've even gone into Oregon a couple of times. So Kira, lots of seat time. And she does a really smart job of rolling into the throttle. In fact, it goes ahead as they came through, and she quickly gets down to the low side of the speedway to close the door. However, open up top for Peyton Drake to drive all the way around. Drake goes 4-1 on the opening lap.
That speed out of the 73 car was incredible. He found that grip on the top. You see those guys, like we were talking about, Caleb, there was something up there, and my goodness, Peyton Drake found it, and he rockets to the lead.
Smart move by Drake to get the spot. You're watching back in the field. 5th place is the 45 of Stratton. 6th place is the 66 of Burstick. And then Bundy looking for positioning coming forward.
What's interesting now, Caleb, we see Drake go to the bottom. Zylstra's running the top in 1 and 2, and she's starting to reel him in down there. Now Drake will go back to the top. The last time he was down low, Kira reeled him in, especially through the middle of 1 and 2. Track
Conditions changing again as the shadows creep in. Peyton Drake looking to set himself up with a front row starting spot at the halfway point of this heat race. It is Zylstra trying to close. Right now, it's a healthy advantage for Peyton as we're down to 3 to go.
You still see Kira running that top, especially because you're able to carry so much more speed. And Peyton knows now how much he had to slow down in the bottom of 1 and 2 that he's like, oh man, I'm going back to the top. So definitely two-group racing here in these heat races.
I'm wondering if Kira takes a look at the bottom here with that before too long, at least in turns 3 and 4, as we will see the white flag next time around. Peyton Drake in pretty good shape, as long as he doesn't make the big blunder here on the final 0.3 of a mile.
Yeah, the thing Kira's thinking about too is she doesn't know how close Jalen is either behind her, right? So she's like, man, I got to protect second, still maintain my good run. But oh no, the 73 is off the pace.
No, the yellow flag is out.
Okay.
There's a car that was spun out to the inside of turn number 2. Hard to see given our perspective, but it's hanging out right there at the bottom of the racetrack.
There we are.
Underneath the Skagit aggregate sign, and it's Burstick's 66 that went around.
Yeah, well, you're not going to pass him if he's in front of you, right? Like, if you're following him in the corner, you ain't passing him. You got to go where he is. So.
All right, it is Drake, and we'll see how he navigates the interstate battery. He's outrageously dependable. Restart zone coming up. Again, beginning of the green is where he can get on the throttle. Starts into it. It's a relatively late takeoff, and boy, Zylstra, we've talked to the 305s. They don't necessarily launch as well.
That was a huge advantage for Peyton Drake. Of course, he doesn't know that he has that much of a gap, but man, that was exactly what he needed to say goodbye and probably get this heat race win.
To the white flag. One more time around.
For Zylstra, though, she didn't, she didn't lose that much track position where she got passed. So Zylstra maintains second. Serrano maintains third. As your heat race winner, car 73, that's Peyton Drake. Kira Zylstra will come home second. Jalen Serrano in third. Zan Miller fourth. Jackson Stratton in the 5th spot. As Peyton Drake, he went from 4th to the win using that outside groove, Caleb.
Nice run for him. That should get him outside row number 1.
Jessen and Jaden are both pretty good friends off the track,
yep.
So I feel like that's kind of a lost thing. Like having really close friends off track, like before they race together and stuff like that. Grew up racing Deming together and everything like that. So really fun to see them both be very competitive together here in the Sportsman class.
There's a group of guys out there our age and a little bit older, right? Well, you're significantly younger than me, but older, that I've always said, I'll bring my friends to the track with me.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, we're in a competitive environment here, and we're running for good money, too. So
yeah, very good money.
It's Jacobson and Whitney, start of Sportsman Sprint, heat race number 3.
They are side by side down into corner 1. Jacobson goes to the bottom. Whitney's going to run the top. Whitney to the outside. They are side by side. Jacobson gets the advantage down into 3 as Whitney's going to rail the top, but Jacobson will lead lap number 1.
Ooh, Jaden, though's got some momentum coming down the front straightaway. He'll throw it into the bottom of 1 and 2. Tries to get through the corner, not quite there with Jessen, but he's coming back after him in turn number 3, and Jaden Whitney's got speed. Can he handle it and figure out the way to get around Jacobson for the lead?
He's got a ton of speed, but that's not always what you want to find on a track like this. He drove the car so deep into turn 3, but you got to get it slowed down so much to get through the exit of the corner. So Really good battle for third position on the track, but yeah, Jaden Whitney got to get the car back under him and try to chase down Jessen.
You just watched the 8 car of Tom Weiss get around the 9 of Ronnie Cox. Allison Johnson's 4 is sitting in position number 5 as you watch him, and Cox into the corner, back end, trying to step out on him. That's going to cost him some ground. At the halfway mark, 4 in, 4 to go here in this third and final heat race.
Yeah, you're watching the top really kind of start to build. There was that moisture that was put down during opening ceremonies that's helping kind of build that upper groove. Of course, if you can get your car slowed down enough to run the bottom, it'll be good. But man, we're watching Jessen Jacobson just rail the top right now and really keep an even lead here over Jaden Whitney.
Jacobson looking good, looking for the second row starting spot coming up in the main. You see him leaning hard on the right rear around the corner. Car's got great balance to it as they will take the white flag.
Yeah, clean heat race for both those guys. Good start, but Jessen just doing what he's been doing all season and runs away. He'll get heat race number 3 win for the 22J. Jessen Jacobson comes home in the first spot. Jaden Whitney second. Tom Weiss in third. Ronnie Cox fourth. And Allison Johnson in the 5th spot.
That'll do it for the Sportsman sprint cars. 360 sprints are due up next here at Skagit Speedway. Taking 6 of these drivers out of the B main, as there was a scratch in the A main. So, yes, of the 7 cars starting, we will have 6 of them go forward.
Dustin Gehring and Tony Bundy. Out of corner 4, we are green. Gehring gets the jump down into corner number 1. We'll see if this start holds, as he got a huge jump on the start. And it does. 37 Wallenfelds. He's all the way up to second now after his 4th place start. Following some of those 360 heat races, kind of what we saw there, get that run around the top as he has got that car wound up. He is going to chase Dustin Gehring down into corner number 3.
Took a little time to shake the rust off. It's been a bit since Sean was in a car of any kind, much less a Sportsman, but he's figuring it out. He is hauling and on the move. Down the back straightaway he goes, and you've got a new leader in Sean Wallenfels Jr.
Dustin's looking to the bottom, though. He doesn't want to give up that easy, but Sean will lead lap number 3. Man, he's got that car ripping around the top right now. There's just not quite enough moisture on the bottom to get a good run, and he has got it figured out. Dustin's now going to go to the top, and he'll try to follow suit.
It was a great high-low battle for just a couple of seconds. Ends up going to Wallenfels. Now, this is important because every guy you pass here is when you don't have to get by in the A main event. These drivers will tag in from position 16 on back. So Wallenfels, Gehring, Bundy sitting in 3rd. Holmqvist is 4. Burstick is 5, and we have got problems.
Oh, and he kept it going. Impressive.
Garrett Powers, the 27, was the one around and kicking up the dust. And that'll bring us to caution here in this 12-lap B feature. Last call, 50-50 raffle tickets. 50-50, last call.
Back in action. Been very busy tonight, Caleb, back there in the Interstate Batteries restart.
Very much so, and on a night like this where it's as slick as it is, all of that wheel spin getting into turn number 3, if you're not smart about how you're getting back into the throttle on the back chute, could be big problems for you in turn 3.
Are one of these cars 305s? Are any of them 305s?
No.
Okay. So they all should launch fairly well.
What we would consider to be normal for a Sportsman sprint.
And Sean can go anywhere from now. Oh, and he goes early. Trying to wind it up and get to the top. Kind of floats the middle, and he'll protect the bottom on exit. Wallenfels gets back to the line first.
Gehring 2, Bundy 3. 4th is Holmqvist, 5th is Burstick, and the 6th and final transfer is Blumenhagen right now.
Dustin looks better after this restart. He seemed to have some better speed, especially if you're 1 and 2 down back straight. So, not that it really hugely matters to win this B main because you're going to the A anyway, but if you can figure something out for your car to be better, get it now, because these are extra laps the other guys don't have.
Remember as well, very busy night for Gehring doing double duty, and throw in a B main start on top of that, it gets even busier. as he runs second here in the Sportsman Sprint B feature.
Man, he doesn't look bad. He's entering really up on the cushion in 3, and Wallenfels is kind of floating in the middle, but we've only got a handful of laps to go here in this 12-lap B main.
4, in fact, remain, making 3 to go as Sean brings it down through the middle of the racetrack. Bundy in third. He has been unable to shake. Holmqvist in the 4th spot, as you saw down the speed cam. Ryan is stuck right there with him.
Yeah, Bundy trying to, really the only car we've seen in the last couple races running the bottom, and he's doing fairly well, keeping his momentum up, but man, Holmqvist is all over the back of his car trying to get that 3rd spot.
1 lap to go coming this time around for Sean Wallenfels Jr. running the Paul Hopkins 37 tonight. Dustin Gary, Tony Bundy, Brian Holmqvist, Tanner Burstick, and Roy Blumenhagen still with lots of room to breathe and relax. There's the checkered, and Wallenfels Jr. gets the W ahead of Gary, Bundy, and Holmqvist. Burstick will cross the line, and he'll make an A-main tonight, as will Rapid Roy. Look out, Powers. Loops are at the very end underneath our back straightaway signboards.
Lights are out on the Carmart USA Pace Truck. Next time around, we will go green on our first A feature of the night. Your Sportsman Sprint cars coming up for 25 laps.
Down the back straightaway, Hendrickson and Drake. Picking up the throttle, coming off of 4. It's a good looking start, green is out. Down the front straightaway they go, side by side in 1 and 2 from the top. Drake will nose ahead on corner exit as Hendrickson searching down the bottom groove. Into the 3rd turn they go. Drake leads lap number 1. And Hendrickson and Merritt, your early top 3.
We've got a car around in corner 4. It's Alden Ostrom. Ostrom kind of through the middle of 3, lost the handle through into 4, and luckily didn't see any contact with anybody else, but unfortunately for him, he will have to tag the rear of the field in that Dirty Deed Septic number 19 machine.
And Jacobson was sitting in position 5 on that initial lap, so really causing himself some work to be done.
Alrighty, we are lights out yet again. The second A feature of the night, about to go green for the Sportsman Sprints down the back straightaway. 13 Hendrickson, 73 Drake, 22 Jacobson, Merritt in the 36. Through 3, out of corner 4, we're green.
Back to action we go.
Hendrickson back down to the bottom, back to the top goes Peyton Drake. Hendrickson better drive, but Drake still has the advantage down into corner 3. Oh, we got a big wreck on the back straightaway.
Jalen Serrano in the 44 amongst the cars that's over there. Taking a look, you got the 19 of Ostrom, the 9 of Cox, the 70 of Logsdon, and the one on its side, I want to say Rollo's 99. Well, Eric List is a very long ways away from us. He's got the mobile camera guy, Carson Guffey, over there with them as they're starting to peel cars away. Eric, some of those drivers got through with less damage than you would expect, but there is still a lot of messed up equipment over there in the exit of turn number 2.
Yeah, exactly. So you can see all most are staying in the car. Macy's going to stay in her car. She's going to take that one to the work area. Paul Rollo is out of the 99, so he's done. There was liquid coming out of the engine there. So a couple cars at least going to try to go back to the work area, but there's definitely a couple cars here too that are not going to be able to go. A lot of flat tires. Get a good shot here as Rollo will roll by. You can see all the green fluid, and Justin, you can maybe educate better on what some of that fluid is, but there's a lot of fluid that came out of the motor on the 99.
If it's blue or green, it's probably steering fluid if I had to guess.
Hydraulic fluid for the steering gear.
Yeah, the
green could also
wing slider and everything, but
green could also be radiator fluid, depending on if they're adding any kind of additive
Sure,
to
like,
it and not running straight water.
is it? I mean, if it's like a darker green, it's probably going to be that hydraulic fluid. Can we see the right side of Macy's car? Can we go over there with the camera? Because if she's going to stay in the car, she's going to want to go to the work area.
Bottom will need replaced on the Logston car.
Did Macy just wave at us?
I hope so.
Oh my goodness.
It's either that or she waved at Carson.
True.
And then the driverless 9, as Ronnie is taking a walk. You're going to take a look at it. Front end's intact. It's just that right rear that's kind of shredded right now. Now, of all the tires, the right rear is a bit of a pain in the butt because you got to get that mud cover off the beadlock rig. So 3 Zeus's or bolts to get off from there. Then inside to get the wheel nut off, get the entirety of the thing, zip out of there. Although that might be a 3 or 5 point on the cover, depending on how they choose to fast.
Maybe?
No. So, you know what that is?
No.
That's that foam style filling that you see in like the modified wheels.
Macy's back. Check it out.
All right. Logston's made it. So you lose Serrano, Rolo, and Ostrom out of that wreck. Making for a much longer road to hoe for Cox and Logston.
Now we should be green next time, I think.
Hey, Caleb and Justin, if I can interject one quick second. I was able to talk to Ostrom. He pulled in because he was feeling the throttle hug.
Okay, yeah, that's a responsible move. I say that's extremely dangerous. I'm glad that he caught that and has
felt
off.
It before it was things got worse. Yeah. Back through turn number 3, Hendrickson, Drake, greens out, we're back underway.
Oh, and that was the start Steve Hendrickson was finally looking for. From the bottom, he has got a wheel on Drake exiting the corner. Now, can he get to the top to slow him up? He's only going to go midway up as they go side by side into 3. Lap number 1 from the bottom, Steven Hendrickson leads. Drake chasing Merritt 3rd.
Drake got a great run off the top of corner number 2. Hendrickson left the lane open for him, but not able to get quite enough drive. As now Tanner Merritt's looking at the bottom of Drake into corner number 3.
Behind them for position, that's Whitney and Jacobson. Side by side for the 4th spot. Whitney down low, has a run on Merritt as he clears Jessen, now looking at the bottom. It is Tanner Merritt, the 36, Jaden Whitney, and Jessen Jacobson not done yet, coming back after Whitney for position 4.
I was going to say, Jacobson smells blood in the water. These guys are fighting for that 3rd spot. Jessen's getting his momentum up on the outside. He's going to look to the outside of Whitney into 3, but Whitney takes the line away.
Jaden Whitney through the middle, now up off the top, as he might be feeling something that he wants to move up racetrack. They're all stacked up in behind him and trying to roll forward. Merritt 3rd, Whitney 4th, 3rd going into the corner.
Yeah, Merritt kind of ran the middle there through corner number 2. As Whitney now will take the spot. He takes it down to corner number 4.
It was a narrow exit coming off the corner, but Jaden Whitney sneaks by, and we know that car gets stronger as the race goes on. Whitney up into 3rd, now Jacobson, your points leader, looking for 4th as he goes to the high side, looking for a spot around Merritt in the 36.
Yeah, Merritt doing a really good job so far early in this race. He doesn't have a ton of laps near the front of an 8-8, as now Jacobson's going to get around him on the outside at 2. But Merritt's still holding strong in that 5th spot.
Yep, it is just Jacobson up into position number 4. Your leader is starting to sniff the back of the field. He's got about a half straightaway before he gets there. Coming off the corner in turn number 4. Race leader is Steven Hendrickson in the 13. As we complete lap number 8, Drake, Whitney, Jacobson, Merritt, your top 5 with about a third of the race done.
Most of these lap cars that Hendrickson's going to get to are running the bottom, so he should be fairly clear until a few cars in as we're down to a couple cars utilizing both lanes that he'll get to and have some trouble, but he has got a lot of buffer between him and 2nd place right now.
Yeah, lap traffic is a little sketchy when it comes to the Sportsman Sprints, our beginner division here at Skagit Speedway for sprint cars. Coming up first is Ronnie Cox, and Roy Blumenhagen is right there, and you know Cox and Blumenhagen know exactly what to do with the leaders coming here. Those two are going to hold their lines, so Steven gets a pretty easy way into slower traffic. It's everybody ahead of them where things are going to get a little more interesting.
Yeah, Steven's car looks fairly soft on the right side, so he's going to get into the top like that. The car kind of transfers from it almost awkwardly over to the right rear, but it's working for him so far. That'll be interesting as he gets up to the 70 vlogs in here in a couple laps.
That entirety of the top 4 is starting to contract as Drake has made some ground on Hendrickson up front, and then Whitney and Jacobson one battling for third. Jacobson down to the bottom, Whitney up high as slower cars move for those two. They're trying to run down Drake, and Drake's now 4 car lengths back to your leader, Stephen Hendrickson.
Oh, Peyton Drake just made a huge run into 3, and he is just within a few car lengths of Hendrickson 3 and 4. So getting into the lap traffic, Caleb's going to be a huge factor in this race.
And I can see what you say about the soft side of Hendrickson is that car looks unbalanced up and around the top, especially in 1 and 2. Looks better coming off at turn number 4 as he comes up in the back of Fox News trying to pass Burstick in the 66. Leader in heavy traffic makes contact with Macy.
We've got a race now as Hendrickson's going to get by Macy, but the 73 and Peyton Drake looks to the bottom. And now we have Jacobson reeling him in, and Whitney's there as well.
It's a battle up in the top as we're 16 down and 9 to go. Hendrickson finally getting free of the heavier traffic. He'll get up and around Burstick, but Drake is right there, keeping him close. One around, bottom of turn 4, Jackson Stratton, and everybody narrowly avoids.
Boy, Caleb, that lap traffic was about to get very, very, very interesting amongst our top 4.
I'm interested to see what happens now that they're going to be in clean air for a little while. All right, 1 to go again, signal. Hendrickson can start as early as the green paint begins on the back straightaway. He's got all the way to the end of the green paint, the interstate batteries, outrageously dependable restart zone to jump back on the hammer. Drake second, Jacobson looking to play spoiler and get 3 in a row. Bumper up on Drake,
oh my goodness.
Quite the thump. As they get up and going, first and second, get away a little bit. It's a good restart for those two.
Yeah, top 3 stayed pretty close. We saw the 88 of Whitney not get a great jump on that restart, but Henderson back, just the middle is Peyton Drake trying to get spoiled back up and back to the front.
Just a heat race worth the distance left as Jacobson down low will steal second away from Peyton. Here's where the experience may play in, although Drake really hammering down around the top to retake second, getting into the corner. Might have to get off the top of 3 and 4, but the top of 1 and 2 is a good spot to be for the 73.
Yeah, Jacobson cannot get off the bottom of 1 and 2, but Peyton Drake has it figured out over there. As Jacobson and Drake now hopefully don't race each other too hard, but we got another yellow, Caleb. We got cars together in turn 1 as well.
Cars all over the place. Your leader avoids that's the 72 of Blumenhagen, the 57 of Bundy, and the 66 of Burstick in a awfully awkward position. How does the I mean,
would like to have a replay of that, but I don't think we do.
So you can see they're still going to work here, Caleb and Justin and everyone on that 57 and trying to get the 66 unstuck. It's a process down here.
Oh, wow. Okay, so
Nathan Prince just sent us a video. He's up filming. His feed isn't on our broadcast, but he's up and filming. So
those two cars went from like the entrance at the bottom of turn 1 all the way up to the racetrack where they stopped.
Yeah, that's a bizarre. So
wow.
Okay.
NSP Racing Videos is going to have that on his YouTube eventually.
Yeah, so
and that's going to be crazy.
Burstick went to the bottom on the straightaway, kind of hooked the left front. Well, it lifted the rear of his car. They get stuck, and they literally, it looked like a trailer attached to it, and they just stuck to it.
Ice skated their way up until they finally stopped.
Yeah.
Like if that wall wasn't there, who knows?
Oh, they would have just kept
off into the
going.
pond.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, that was kind of bizarre. So on the
nuts.
straightaway, just kind of hopped that left front and then stuck and pulled each other.
Yeah, and when I say they were stuck like that, they were not just stuck like that, but they were stuck like that with the 66 facing backwards and the 57 facing the whole way.
Yeah, they're both going backwards up the track.
That's crazy. I've seen crazier, but that one
There goes 57 rolling away.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Roy just
in a long time.
Yeah. There's no shortage of really fast cars here in the Northwest by itself. Let alone the national level drivers that are coming and West Coast and everybody that'll be here.
Shane Golovic is on the way, the Chili Bowl Nationals A main starter. That dude is incredibly talented. amongst others. Dominic Selzy, the former Dirt Cup champion, will be in the house as well as we're ready to go back to green. Green-white checkered on the restart. Jacobson got around Drake. Does he have anything for Hendrickson?
Hendrickson got a good start down to the bottom of 3 and 4. Whitney's trying to run the top, trying to get that podium spot. His next time by, Hendrickson's going to see the white flag. Whitney now looking to the bottom, slides back to the top, and Drake's going to go back by down the back straightaway.
Whitney is just a podium-making machine. Peyton got down to not let Jaden get back underneath him as we are down to 1 to go. One more time around, Hendrickson, can he hold off Jacobson? Arcing it into 3 and off of 4 for his first Skagit Speedway Sprint Car win, Steven Hendrickson. Second to Jessen, third to Peyton Drake, who puts her on the podium. What a good night for him.
Yeah, really solid run for Peyton Drake, but the bigger story here, Steven Hendrickson getting his first sprint car win here tonight in the Sportsman Sprints at Skagit Speedway. Held off Jessen Jacobson, the current points leader, and they're going to come around to the front straightaway here for their trophy presentation. That should be an excited guy behind the wheel of the 13 car.
Tanner Merritt with a 5th place tonight. Nice run, Tanner. As, yeah, that one was not what we anticipated. A lot of weird wrecks and such, but at the end, turned out to be a great story. And you can see he's jacked up inside the car.
That's cool to see.
It's a little weird not to see him in a yellow 13 car, but I'll tell you what, the LR Motorsports group has put together a really good Sportsman sprint. And as soon as that green light turns on, he will have met the minimum weight requirements. We are good to go. Hendrickson going to the front straightaway as he gets his first Skagit Speedway win in the sprint car. Be a lot of happy people coming to congratulate him on that.
Jacobson continues his strong runs in the 22J. Second place finish tonight. Peyton Drake, that'll be another excited guy.
As he should be.
Steven Hendrickson up on the back of his car there, your winner tonight in car number 13.
Tom Weiss ends up coming in 6th. That's a good run for Tom. Kira Zylstra takes 7th. In 8th was Dustin Gehring from almost last. And then 9th, Brian Holmqvist, 10th, Jackson Stratton. We will have an expedited victory lane here. We need to give Steven his time, but we got to roll through it so we can get to our 360A main event. And we will get our top 3 up to the podium as quickly as we possibly can. Well, Steven Hendrickson from the back of the top wing, and we need to get everybody up to the stage, please, quickly, so we can go through our winner's interview. As you can see, our 360s are staging.
From Skagit Speedway, give him a big round of applause, Steve Hendrickson. Come on up. I believe first Skagit Speedway sprint car wing. What are the emotions going through your head right now?
Oh, it's unbelievable. I knew there were some good cars behind me chasing me, so I'm sweating because I'm nervous. I wasn't even running that hard.
You had Justin Jacobson breathing down your neck there in the closing laps of the race. How would you have to hold him off?
Honestly, I just kept her glued to the bottom on the 1 and 2, and then just ran through the middle. Red had the car so good, I could just keep her matted most of the way. I got to thank Pack Trucking, Shembolt Construction, Les Schwab, Danny and Red, Xander, my mom and dad, wife and kids. I've had a pretty good weekday pit crew. So,
Steven Hendrickson gets it done in the Sportsman Sprint cars. Well, Justin Jacobson, 2 wins and now a 2nd place. Not too shabby, and you were knocking on the door there. What little more did you need? You were running that bottom so hard, and it looked like you were so close.
Yeah, there on the restart, we kind of missed the start. He got away from us there. I think if we would have got that a little better, we might have had a shot for him there coming off of 4. But our crew did a really good job of hooking my car up there for the end of the race. We were a little snug there at the beginning, and towards about halfway through, we tried the bottom of 3 and 4 and figured that out. That was pretty quick. We got by Jaden and Peyton to get up into 2nd, and then we might have had something for him if we just had a couple more laps. But overall, I feel like our crew did a really good job of putting the car together for me tonight, make it easy to drive.
Well, so Jacobson, 2 wins, and now a 2nd place here tonight. Oh, Drake, 2 weeks in a row, you and I get to talk with you standing here on the podium in 3rd. You got to be feeling pretty good with that 73 car.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy.
What little more did you feel like you were needing throughout that race to just be a little bit better, you think?
Personally, I think it would have been me pulling that wing back a little faster than I did. Could have kept with Steve in there, but yeah, I mean, the car felt great, and yeah, I'm feeling amazing in the car, so yeah.
Well, there you go. You can pull the wing back next time. Peyton Drake brings it home once again here at Skagit Speedway.
Well, trackside, Hendrickson, Jacobson, and Drake, 1 through 3 tonight. Congratulations to them. That is Eden and Blake, our trophy girls tonight here at Skagit Speedway. Well, race fans, Dirt Cup is coming up, and I've talked you till you're blue in the ear on this one, but